I'm very excited to have my next guest join us. She's a very talented singer and songwriter on her very first headlining tour. It is Em Beihold.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for doing this. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You just threw this on and just was like, I'm ready.
I was in my sweatpants 2 minutes ago.
I didn't know that. This is your first headlining tour.
It is.
A lot of preparation, I'm sure, was involved. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel like the nerves, I don't know if it's nerves or excitement. I hear they come from the same place in your body, so I'm like between the two right now.
Does this harken back to like your very first talent show or first performance that you gave as a kid?
I didn't even do talent shows because they were too scary.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, why are you in this business?
I don't know. I asked myself that as well, but I do love it.
What do you do to calm the nerves before you hit the stage?
I do a lot of like shaking. That helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes a panic attack. Depends on the day.
Well, this isn't your first rodeo.
No.
You've toured with other people before.
This is true. But now the pressure is on me.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Did you learn anything from the past tours that you can say, okay, I got this?
Honestly, I feel like having fun makes the best performance rather than like technically hitting every note perfectly, and I'm just going to try to do that on this tour. Just have a great time.
Is that the perfectionist in you?
Yeah. Like after every performance, I'll always be like, oh, I could have like belted that better or whatever. But
Yeah. How do you get the crowd involved? How do you get them to save you so that it can hide the mistakes and things that happen on stage unexpectedly?
The beautiful thing is I can point the mic to them now, and they, in theory, should know the words. So anytime I'm like, I want to...
Isn't that great to
Yeah.
be able to have at least a few songs, a catalog of songs where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
numb little bug, it's all you.
Yeah.
Describe the feeling to me about what it's like to hear your lyrics being yelled and screamed, sung back to you.
I think the most magical feeling ever. I mean, I wrote that song, I was just like by myself at the piano when I wrote the first half of it before I brought it to some people who finished it with me, and it's just crazy that like such a low point could kind of lead to like the highest point in some way, and I feel like that's such a full circle thing about life.
Maybe life is good.
Maybe.
Brand
I
new
feel like
single.
It's a pessimistic optimism take.
Mm.
You know?
Why the pessimistic, optimistic take?
Because saying life is good is not true all the time.
True.
So
But
there's
when
a
you have
little
that,
maybe.
I don't know, a few minutes, hopefully an hour, a day of goodness, I
Yeah.
hope that you enjoy it.
I think you can always find the good amidst everything. In therapy, I've been doing silver linings training. So I'll take my day, I'll take the worst parts, and I'll try to find a silver lining. And honestly, it does help.
I read that Maybe Life is Good was written at a low point last year. What were you going through, and why put it in song versus strictly journal?
Yeah, well, last year was kind of like, honestly, the come down year from Numb Little Bug, which I expected to be tough, but like, I feel like it's hard kind of having a tornado of everything thrown at you, and then like all of a sudden it's just like, that's the music industry though, it's just waves. I feel like I was going through a bit of an identity crisis as to like what kind of music I even wanted to make, and I was doing all these sessions and writing with all these people and just felt like I was losing myself, and the songs I was making were kind of sad, and I don't want to be a sad artist. So in the session where I wrote Maybe Life is Good, it started as like a sad song about friendships falling apart, and then the writer Casey Smith was like, I feel like this isn't the vibe, and I have this chorus and the title's Maybe Life is Good, and she played it for me, and I was like, yeah, we're pivoting immediately, because I feel like this is what I need to hear right now. And then the whole thing kind of came out quickly. I wasn't sure if I was going to release it for a bit, but I found that I kept singing it to myself when I was feeling low. So I hope that it has that effect for other people the way it
That's
did
when
for
you know
me.
you hit that universal, relatable aspect of a song, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, to rewind, you were one of those artists that really gained notoriety during the pandemic when people were basically at home with their phones,
Yeah.
scrolling.
I was doing TikTok lives, and then all of a sudden I was like at Wango Tango in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not normal.
No, it's not.
No.
Did you feel, I'm sure you did, like a big case of imposter syndrome? Like,
Oh yeah.
what am I doing here?
And I still do. I'm trying to shake it. Like there was a fan waiting outside at 3:30, and I was like, why are you here? And she's like, to see your show. I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I'm sure you've connected with them on social media because you were locked up at home as well, right?
Yeah.
And So you had a chance to do these live, see the comments streaming along, and I'm sure some of those were Taylor Swift bots and whoever they are. But they're real people behind there.
Which is
well.
insane. And all the tours I've went on, like I'll usually go to the merch booth after and meet people and sign things, and like just having those interactions is so meaningful because it's true. They've been usernames for so long. So
Yeah.
to have this tour is so special.
Well, you're classically trained. You've been playing music forever, right? Since you were really young. What was the vision? What was young Emily dreaming of when she was 10?
The vision was to be a sync writer. And then
For what shows? Movies?
I had the opportunity to do it when I was like, I think 18, and I did it for a movie and I loved it, and I read the script and like wrote something from that. But I feel like being an artist felt too like unfeasible. So I never really dreamed of that, never dreamed of touring, just didn't let myself get there. And then, I don't know, everything I would have put on voice memos I put on TikTok instead, and then it all just sort of happened.
That's really interesting because you hear about kids that grow up in LA. Hollywood's right there. You TikTok now, right? All the celebrities and stars and wannabes and so forth and so on. It's so easy to get immersed into that and dream big.
Yeah.
But you didn't. Yeah.
I don't know. I've always actually been, I feel like more of a behind the scenes kind of person, like in my normal life. Like I was in theater for a while and then I realized I prefer tech crew. So it's like a little funny that this is what I've ended up doing. But I love writing, and I think it's been a learning curve to love performing as well.
I can imagine, and especially with, like you said, the avalanche of attention just came instantly.
Yeah.
But now, circling back, now you're headlining your own. People are literally specifically coming to see you.
Yeah.
How much of did you see that grow once you did the collaboration with Steven Sanchez?
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And also I feel like that song reached so many parts of the world that I kind of didn't yet with Numb Little Bug. So just to see DMs from like all these countries is insane, and I'm really grateful to have gotten some reach from that.
You've released a couple of songs now with Pedestal and Maybe Life is Good recently. Is this a prelude to a fuller body of work? Or?
No, they're just sort of, I feel like last year was really finding myself and what I wanted to be making, and these were songs that I had been sitting on for a bit and I just loved them and wanted to put them out. Same with, Maybe Life is Good. The next single's kind of different. I feel like I'm in my exploration phase, but I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, because now you have a better sense of who you are.
Totally.
Right? And that's still evolving and changing.
Yeah.
But now you know what to expect of yourself, what a vision is. Do you have a better vision, a little more clarity?
Totally. And also like performing live has influenced a lot too. Because I feel like I used to write very punchy piano songs and that's not gone, but like seeing how that translates to a live performance is interesting, and I feel like I incorporate it differently than I might have before any live stuff.
Well, best of luck with the tour.
Thanks
so much for doing this, and great to meet you.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
It's Em Beihold right here on B-Sides. Yeah.